Right now, invisible waves are passing through your body, through the walls around you, through the floor beneath you. They're carrying cat videos, emails, and everything you've ever searched for, and they never asked permission. Wi-Fi. We use it every single day, but almost nobody knows how it actually moves through solid objects. I mean, light can't get through your wall, sound gets muffled, but Wi-Fi? It cuts right through concrete, wood, and glass like they're barely there. Here's what's actually happening, and why your bathroom is always a dead zone. Visible light vibrates at around 430 to 770 trillion times per second. Wi-Fi? It vibrates at 2.4 or 5 billion times per second. That might still sound fast, but it's roughly 100,000 times slower than visible light. And here's why that matters. The frequency of a wave determines what it can and can't pass through. High-frequency waves, like visible light, get absorbed or reflected by most solid materials. That's why you can't see through a wall. But lower-frequency waves, like Wi-Fi, have wavelengths around 12 centimeters, about the length of your hand. At that scale, the wave is too big to interact with the tiny atomic structures inside most wall materials. But not all walls are created equal. If you've ever noticed your Wi-Fi is great in the living room, but drops dead in the kitchen, the wall between them is usually the reason. Here's the hierarchy. Drywall and wood are basically transparent to Wi-Fi. The waves pass through with barely any signal loss. Brick and plaster absorb more energy. You'll lose maybe 30 to 50% of signal strength per wall. Concrete is much worse, especially if it contains rebar. The steel bars inside act like a cage that reflects the waves back. And then there's metal. Metal is to Wi-Fi what a brick wall is to light. The free electrons in metal are highly conductive. When a Wi-Fi wave hits metal, those electrons start vibrating at the same frequency as the wave and essentially absorb or reflect all of its energy. This is why elevators are Wi-Fi dead zones. It's essentially a metal box, a Faraday cage. Fun fact, this is also why your microwave oven doesn't cook you while your food heats up. The metal mesh on the microwave door has holes too small for microwave frequency waves to escape, but large enough for visible light, so you can still watch your food spin. Now here's where it gets practical. Modern routers broadcast on two frequencies, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And the difference between them is exactly the wall penetration physics we just talked about. 2.4 gigahertz has a longer wavelength, about 12 centimeters. It penetrates walls better and can reach further, up to 90 meters in open air. But it's slower. And it shares its frequency band with Bluetooth devices, baby monitors, and even your microwave oven. That's a lot of traffic on the same highway. 5 gigahertz has a shorter wavelength, about 6 centimeters. It's much faster and less crowded, but those shorter waves get absorbed more easily by walls and furniture. Move 2 rooms away from your router on 5 gigahertz, and your connection might vanish entirely. This is why your router has both. The smart move is to use 5 gigahertz when you're in the same room as the router, and let your device fall back to 2.4 gigahertz when you wander further away. Here's something that'll change how you think about Wi-Fi forever. Remember, Wi-Fi is electromagnetic radiation in the microwave frequency range. Your router is, technically speaking, a very low-power microwave transmitter sitting on your shelf. But before you panic, your router transmits at about 0.1 watts. Your microwave oven operates at about 1,000 watts. That's a 10,000-fold difference. At the power level your router operates, the Wi-Fi waves don't have enough energy to heat anything. They just carry your data. And that data, it's encoded into the wave itself using something called phase shift keying. Tiny changes in the wave's pattern that represent ones and zeros. Your phone decodes billions of these pattern changes every second to turn them back into the video you're watching right now. So the next time your Wi-Fi drops in the bathroom, don't blame your router. Blame physics. The walls between you and the internet are doing exactly what the electromagnetic spectrum says they should. If you found this fascinating, you're going to love what's coming next. We're diving into another invisible force that's probably happening in your kitchen right now. How microwaves heat your food, but somehow leave the plate cold. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.